Hey YouTube, Scott Off-Road. How you doing today? Well, it's been about a month since my last video. It's been busy. We had the holidays, had a little traveling, and just getting caught up on life. Lots happened. Santa wife came through first off. Last year we went on a Jeep trip, and between the cooler in the back of the Jeep and the lawn chairs, my rear view mirror was useless. And then we were on the side of a mountain, needed to back down on the trail, and again, the rear view mirror was useless. So I've been putting that on my want list and my wish list for Christmas, and Santa wife came through, got a real nice forward camera, backup camera, DVR for the Jeep. Just got that put in, great little camera, a lot of fun, just makes things a little safer for me. Didn't want to do an install video on it. I'm kind of not really enjoying the install videos as much as I thought I would. So at some point we'll go out and I'll kind of show you what we're doing with that, or what it looks like in the Jeep. I'm waiting on one cable. The camera did come from China and the customer service has been great, but there was one cable that was bad, so it's not installed the way I'd prefer to have it done with all my wires hidden. So that's temporary right now. As soon as the cable comes in and it's hidden properly, I'll show you guys what it looks like in the Jeep. Also, in the process of installing the camera, I went ahead and ran a wire to a permanent hot for charging not only that backup camera, but my GoPro and the Garmin and other items in the Jeep. Unfortunately, something went wrong with the charging cord and it shorted out and let all the smoke out of my GoPro. So that ended up going in the trash. However, buddy I go jeeping with, Matt and his wife Jen, they came through Christmas, got a GoPro 7. So I am excited to see that, use that, learn how to use it, and hopefully it's got to be a better quality than what I was using. Granted, what I had was a GoPro, but it was a Hero 1, I believe. So 7 modifications later, 7 revamps later, this is going to be neat. Also, over the last couple months, I have been working on getting my ham radio technician license. It has been a challenge to do, and one of the videos I watched on this, they talked about how over 50% of the people who get their ham radio license don't ever turn on a radio or transmit, and they couldn't understand it. I do. I had, with the Jeep, when we go on Jeep trails, as many of you know, you have to have a CB. It's required. It's a requirement. If you go on a Jeep Jamboree trip, you have to have a CB. If you go on an All for Fun or any other trip, they highly, highly recommend the CBs. One, in case something breaks down, you can call the guy in front of you. If you need a spotter, you can call the spotter up. Also on the trails, hey, look to the left, there's an elk. Look to the right, there's an old abandoned mine. This is how it all worked. So good history, good communication, good safety. My buddy and I, when we go on these trips, we liked using the CBs because it was easier just to pick up the CB. Hey, we need a bathroom break on the interstate, or hey, running low on fuel, let's go get fuel, or let's go grab lunch while we're driving to these trips. Unfortunately, we have never had good luck with the CBs. We could tune them in, we dialed them in, we replaced antennas, we replaced coax cables, we replaced the radios, we did everything we could think of with these CBs. And we could get about 1.5 miles if he was sitting in his driveway and if I was sitting stationary, which was great for a CB. But when you're doing 70, 75 miles an hour on the interstate, we couldn't talk to each other when we were next to each other. And that just created problems, headaches, and aggravations. So went to a Overland Bound meetup, and 2 of the guys there were big into hams, and they really suggested, said, this is what's going to fix you and make it all work for you. So Matt and I, we jumped in. We ordered the books, started reading. I read a chapter a day. I studied. I started taking the quizzes. Failed every quiz. Downloaded a different quiz bank and then watched some YouTube videos where they actually filmed the class that they were having. And so I watched that, started taking the quizzes, and after a few weeks, I was passing the quizzes well enough to go take the test, and took the test, passed it. I'm a technician, but this has been a pain in the butt. I mean, the tests weren't bad once you start figuring out what they're asking and you start figuring out the jargon, but this isn't like just going down to the local auto parts store or Walmart or wherever and buying a CB radio, or going to the truck stop, buying a CB radio, an antenna, and a coax, and hey, you're good. These radios are expensive. They're technical. Programming is, I haven't even figured that part out yet. So it's overwhelming. It took me almost a month and a half, 2 months to figure out and decide what radio I wanted. I had one guy suggesting this radio that was $300, $400 for just the radio. Never mind the $100, $60 to $100 for the antenna and everything else to go, and then program. It's like, I just couldn't do it. So I got to looking. I found a website that went over some pros and cons or reviews of the different ham radios. And ironically, you look at the inexpensive China-made radios and the reviews sucked. But then you look at the expensive big 3, big 4 ham radios in that $100 range. The reviews sucked. You looked at the $300, $400, $500 radios and the big manufacturers for them. The reviews sucked. I don't get it. I think a lot of it would have been is simply because, well, I like Ford, so everything that's not a Ford sucks. Or I like Jeep, so if it's not a Jeep, it sucks. I think the same thing carries over to the ham radio business. I did finally find a radio. Bought it. It's a China-made. It should be getting here in the next day or two. I ordered a good quality antenna. I just got that installed today. Got all the wiring ran, so once this radio shows up, it should just be a simple bolt-in, hook up a couple wires. But then I've got to go in and figure out how to actually program the channels and the frequencies and how all that works. That said, one of the guys from Overland Bound that lives about 40 miles from me, he just bought a new JK, and he's moving his ham radio over to the JK, and he's planning on doing that Saturday. So if I can get the wife to let me go, I got other stuff going on next week, which I'll explain later. But if she's on board with it, I'm going to grab the cameras. We're going to go to Kearney. We're going to help install the ham radios in the JK. We're going to get the new radios for the TJ installed, test them out, and just kind of do an install video. As much as I don't like them, just kind of do a review video of the ham radios, programming them, and what it's like to make a communication. But yeah, after several months of studying, and I was so overwhelmed picking out a radio, it's like I didn't even care if I turned the thing on. So I can see why people don't get their license, or after they get their license, they don't turn on the radio. All right, mission to Haiti. The mission to Haiti Jeep is on official pause. I did all the research, figured out most everything we wanted to do to the Jeep. Unfortunately, on the way to the board, it was determined that we needed to pause, let this set for a few months. Mission to Haiti is in some pretty big projects right now down in Haiti. And if we went to the board and asked to spend a good deal of money on this Jeep, it would have been denied. So we decided we were going to wait till spring or summer and approach the board and then go ahead and go. And it sounds like we're going to get the green light to do it. But Mission to Haiti Jeep is on pause. We're just not doing anything with it right now. Hopefully, summertime, we'll jump into it and get it going, and we'll get a video or two on that. Which also brings us to Mission to Haiti again. Next week, I'm leaving to Mission to Haiti to do mission work. I'm going to help build a building down there. We're going to hopefully work on some wells. With that new GoPro camera, with the channel, I'm hoping to get a couple videos while I'm down there made. And this is also why I have to ask the wife if I can go install a radio on Saturday. And I think normally I'd have just said, hey, we're going to go. But where I'm going to be gone for a week already, I just want to make sure. And I think the wife has some family stuff going on that evening. But not real sure what the schedule is. So my original goal here was to do about a video a week. And originally that started out pretty easy. I had a lot of canned videos from old Jeep trips with my GoPro and before I even knew about making channels. So it was pretty easy. I'd spend a couple of days editing, put a few videos together, space them out. But again, this last month, we had a blizzard. We had to go to Missouri for family Christmas. We had my work schedule and family Christmases around here and second family Christmases around here and taking tests and studying for the ham radio. It was just busy. So hopefully we'll do a video this weekend. If not, I'll make some videos in Haiti and hopefully show you what that's all about and get back onto it. Should start warming up and get some decent videos done.